Hello, and welcome to this new course, program. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I'm entitled it A Life in Prayer. More about how this is all going to work in a minute. But let's start by saying the most important thing. This is not an autobiography. I really, really wish my life was a life spent in prayer. I try, I do pray, and sometimes I have a glimmer of what it might be like, but I'm not there yet. Having said that, this course will be based on my experiences, as limited as they are, but also what I have gleaned from the experiences of others, both traditionally people who've written about it and people I've met as I've gone along. As I say, my life is not one who has spent it in prayer. I have often prayed, I've often had a touch of what it means to be in prayer, and we'll learn what that means in a few minutes. But I'm always reminded, I once had a course where a person with a reputation for great spiritual power was speaking, and someone asked, how do I get in a state of prayer that you are in? And the man turned and looked and said, what do you mean? And she said, well, last time I saw you praying, you were so obviously deeply there. And he said, oh, I think that was the time I was thinking about some television program I saw as a child. So a reminder to us just how difficult this is, and how even some of the people we think are great spiritual people have the problem. So this, whatever this is to help us all come to a better place and work our way forward. Certainly I have the goal of being a person who lives a life in prayer. But like everyone else, I feel I'm just inching my way forward towards it. And really what this session is about is talking to other people who also want to inch their way forward. So what do I mean by a life in prayer? I think it's something at this point is going to be very hard for us to describe. I think it's something we'll discover as we travel on through this process. But here's something to start with. A life in prayer is to be constantly aware of being in the presence of the source of being, peace, and love. I'll repeat that. To be constantly aware of being in the presence of the source of being, peace, and love. A few comments about this. It's interesting. And the reason I use the word in, not of prayer, a life of prayer, in prayer. It's something that we not do so much, such as intercessions or meditation or contemplation or practice. It's something we experience. It's something we inhabit. It's how we get there. Secondly, the goal is a constant awareness. That's why I've said it's a life in prayer. It's something we are, a place we inhabit, not something we do. And at this point, you notice I use the word source, and I don't use any of the traditional names about it. The problem with all the traditional names, as soon as you would use them, you immediately would carry a baggage with it. You'd think you know what that word meant. And I think all the words we use for the source of this peace, this love, this being, carry such baggage that we just need to pass back away and actually try to discover what the source is. A teacher of mine used to call these words weasel words. I prefer to call them prairie dog words. When I was a child, I loved the prairie dogs at the zoo. They were in a big enclosure, and you'd see them come out and they'd scamper around and then go into the holes and then come out somewhere else. And the question always was it the same prairie dog? And the same with these words. They get used, they pop up, they run around, we think we know them, they go down, but when we come back and use them again, are they the same word? So for the time being, we just call it the source. So our purpose is to connect to that source, and if it really is a place of being, peace, and love, I suggest it's where we really want to be. So what is the format of these postings? I'm going to do it in small bites. I hope to post once or twice a week, and each post will be between 5 and 10 minutes, and we'll try and cover one thing. Now, I don't want this to be a monologue. I really want it to be a dialogue. So please use the comment section. I will be posting it on YouTube, both the St. Mary's South Milford YouTube channel and a YouTube channel I just created called A Life in Prayer. So go there and put your comments there. Also, it will be on my Facebook page, Peter Roberts, and also on the South Milford and Monk Fryston Facebook page. So please look there. And I really do want your comments, whether good, bad, or indifferent. But also, most importantly, I'd like you to share your experience. So until our next posting, which will probably be sometime later this week, goodbye.